Hey, what's up everybody? This is Nightwing2303 from KicksOnCord.com. Today I just have pretty much the final conclusion to the Air Penny project. As you can see, we have the Penny 1, 2, 3, Foamposite 1, Penny 4, and Penny 5. My performers tested and reviewed every single one of these because of the release of the Air Penny 5. And unfortunately I wasn't able to complete this before that shoe had released, but better late than never. So one quick thing, if you want a performance review on these guys here, just be patient. They are not part of the Air Penny project. It's basically the Flight 1 and the Ergo LWP. Again, not part of the Penny project, even though they are a Penny shoe, especially this one with his number on the back. This one not so much, but I still personally just don't consider them an actual signature. I actually don't even consider these a signature of the Air Penny, even though they have his logo on there and all that kind of stuff. So that's just me personally, but I will get to them soon enough, so be patient. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm just going to pick and pull the shoes that I like the least as far as performance goes, and explain why a little bit. So starting with the first one is the Foamposite 1. It's just not a guard shoe in my opinion as far as a speedy guard shoe. This is a kind of like a big man sneaker in my opinion. It's got a lot of support, really great cushion, really great fit after the break-in time, but it's just not something that I can use with the traction as well as the bulkiness and the very, very long break-in time. The heel lockdown was something that I really did have a problem with. It made everything feel real clunky and slappy on the court. I think that these are great casually. I just can't play in them personally. I know that there's plenty of people that are a lot bigger than me that love to play in Foamposites, and I don't knock them because it is a good performance shoe. It's just not a good performance shoe for me or for a really quick or speedy guard. I'm actually surprised that Rondo plays in them, but you know, maybe he actually likes what they offer, all that support and all of that stuff, with all of his most recent ankle roll issues. The next one I'm going to have to remove is the Air Penny 4. This is probably my favorite looking out of all of these sneakers here, maybe except for these guys right there, but I just think that these are beautiful. I've always liked them, especially since I first saw them when I was in high school, and I've never been able to grab a pair, so I'm glad that I was able to do that and get a pair for the Air Penny project. The thing that I loved about them was this strap and the whole heel lockdown and emphasis on that. The thing I couldn't just get past is the traction surface. I just couldn't do it. I kept sliding, especially right along here on this intermedial side, and that's something that I need personally when I'm using a shoe. I need to push off on that, and I use my forefoot quite often, especially my toe, and this run right here just didn't work for me. So the next one I'm going to take out is the Air Penny 1. I think that these are really good. Personally, I thought they were really surprising. I was surprised with the traction itself. This would be a good outdoor option if you wanted a thick rubber traction base to last you outside. The thing that I just didn't like about them is the heel lockdown, and that's pretty much it. Everything else was perfectly fine. They could have used a little bit more flex in the forefoot, but they fit so well up front that you didn't notice that too much. But as far as directly comparing them to all of the leftovers, I just didn't think that this was as good as either of these three. Now this comes down to literally like three of my favorite models as far as on-court options go, so this is really, really hard. But the one that I'm going to have to take out is the Air Penny 2. This is probably my other favorite looking penny besides those Air Penny 4s. This colorway in particular, I just think that these are a gorgeous sneaker. Actually, every single colorway I've ever seen of these, they look great. So with the exception of those sprites, I didn't like those too much, especially in person. I just didn't. That cyber pack. But anyways, it has nothing to do with performance. So I thought that these were awesome. Kind of similar to the Air Penny 1 in terms of overall performance. I love the cushion in them. These ones actually had a really big heel air unit, and the forefoot was very, very comfortable once you broke them in. And I love the sidewall or wing. Gives you plenty of support, and I like how the lacing system kind of envelopes that area as well, right above like the arch of your foot, so really keeping you in place. So I really love these. Traction could have been better, especially when you're going at full speed and then stopping all of a sudden. There is a little bit of slip or delay, but other than that, I thought that these are really, really cool to play in. Definitely a personal favorite just for nostalgic reasons. 2 pennies left, and this is extremely hard, but I'm going to have to take away these guys right here. These ones have almost everything that one could want in a shoe, like nowadays, with one exception, and that is just their overall weight. I personally don't think that, lightweight or heavy makes it too big of a difference. It's all about construction and the way that the shoe is put together with what materials and so on and so forth. But if I'm thinking of which one I was able to maneuver and do whatever it was that I needed to do more quickly and efficiently, it was definitely not this one. The forefoot, mostly, it lacks a little bit of flex. It's pretty stiff and rigid here. I did like the traction, and again, I really like the cushion. So that's that. I love the Foamposite sidewall. I like this whole wing thing. I like that they did that in all of the shoes. It gives a lot of support when stopping like this, because when you jab step or stop and then move in a different direction, it just really gives you that support so you don't roll over. So surprisingly enough, the Air Penny 5 is actually my personal favorite out of all of the Air Pennies to play in. This is the one that comes in a sportwear box. It's just, in my mind, it doesn't make sense, but it was the best to play in. It's missing forefoot cushion as far as I'm aware, and it still didn't make too big of a difference. Me being a fan of foam cushions, I thought that this was ideal. I still think that the unit here could have been more comfortable, the heel unit, but as far as what it actually does for you, it did do that, and it definitely took and absorbed a lot of impact or shock from heel strikes. The thing that I loved about them is just this natural feel to them. It just molds to the foot, and the entire fit and everything does the same thing. They're pretty narrow, and they wrap perfectly around your foot, and it just feels great. Traction was fantastic. Most of you guys know that I'm a big fan of fit and traction, and this shoe just had both of them, and they did exceedingly well in both categories. So this is definitely a shoe that blends all of those past pennies together, but brings them up to date with a little bit more of a modern feel to them with this fused material and like the larger volume bags and the new foams and all that kind of stuff. So I love these. The Air Penny 5, definitely a good shoe. If you're looking to hoop in an Air Penny, that would be my order in which I'd choose. So this would be my first option, and then, like I said, the Air Penny 3, the 2, the 1, the 4, and then the foam. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all of your support. Thanks for watching the Air Penny project, and I'm going to get back to the Air Jordan project very soon. So stay tuned for that. And until next time, guys, have a good one.